For our second keynote, we have Professor Xiaofeng Liu, and he is currently a professor at Hohai University, China, where he's also the Deputy Dean of the College of Internet of Things Engineering, the head of Cognition and Robotics Laboratory, the director of the Joint Laboratory of Aldebaran Robotics and Hohai University, and also the vice director of Changzhou Laboratory of Robotics and Intelligent Technology. And Professor Xiaofeng Liu's research focuses on social robots, human-robot interaction, and bio-navigation from natural inspiration. And for today's keynote, Professor Liu will be talking about on the role of affective computing in human-robot interaction. And the presentation will be recorded, but Professor Liu will be available for live Q&A afterwards. So I will just stop sharing my screen for a second so that I can reshare it with the sound and video clip optimization. And all right, now it's shared again. And I will play the video.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this workshop. I'm Xiaofeng from Hohai University. It's my great honor to have a talk on ACAI 2022. Today, I will introduce affective systems in human-robot interaction. Here is the outline of my talk. Introduction, perception of affect in HRI, generation of affect in HRI, and its application. Affect is important to artificial intelligence. Last year, science proposed the 125 questions theme in the issue that focus on the exploration and discovery. One of them is, will it be possible to create sentient robots? In The Society of Mind, the father of artificial intelligence, Marvin Minsky, said, the question is not whether intelligent machines can have any emotions, but whether machines can be intelligent without emotions. Affective computing is also a major demand for the current development of artificial intelligence in China. China initiated the Science and Technology Innovation 2030, a major project in which the importance of affect has also been mentioned many times in the National Development Plan for the new generation of artificial intelligence, such as developing affective care assistants for the elderly to improve the quality of their lives, developing intelligent assistant products with affective interaction functions that can actually understand people's need and realizing a virtual cycle of emotion communication and demand satisfaction. All these topics are concerning the affective computing. So, what is affective computing? In 1997, the mother of affective computing, Rosalind Picard, defined what is affective computing. Affective computing refers to computing that related to, arise from, or influence emotions. Affective computing is multidisciplinary, involving sensor technology, philosophy, psychology, computer technology, and internet media. Its ultimate goal is enables the machine to understand human affect intelligently and generate appropriate feedback to regulate the direction of human affect. The arrival of the intelligent information age promotes the research on the intelligent effect of human-computer interaction, which is a major trend of the future research on human-computer interaction. Human communication is natural and emotional, so people expect machines to have the same emotional ability in human-computer interaction. With the rapid development of computer technology, human-computer interaction technology has undergone qualitative changes. Human-computer interaction has developed from human adapting to computer adapting to human. It has experienced 4 stages: command line interaction, graphical user interface, nature human-computer interaction, and affective human-computer interaction. Picard suggested that affect is an active part of intelligence and critical for technology to function with sensitivity toward humans. Affective HRI is related to, but separated from, human factors and human-computer interaction. While HRI certainly benefits from considering the various HRI design principles and the iterative design process, affective HRI may be more complex than traditional HRI, since the robot's social interaction and physical embodiment may take place while functioning in and interacting with the physical space, such as environment. For an successful interaction, various factors including the robot's emotion expression, user's expectation, adaptability, the task performed, and the use of the constituent in the system all become essential interdependent elements of a dynamic affective interaction. In a word, human affect has 3 components: subjective experience, external representation, and physiological rules. For robot, it can be simply divided into perception and understanding of affect, and expression and generation of affect. In order to conduct research on affective HRI, we have developed an affective humanoid robot with humanoid appearance and skin. The robot is composed of 3 parts: heart, arm, and chassis. The affective system based on humanoid robot mainly includes the robot's perception of the user's affect and the expression of the robot's affect. In part 2, we will give a brief introduction for perception of affect in HRI. Affective interaction pattern include the 2 main pattern: speech interaction, non-verbal interaction. Non-verbal communication is responsible for 70% of all face-to-face interactions between people. Many kinds of non-verbal behaviors are used in face-to-face interactions, such as facial expression, physiological signals, gesture and body movement, posture, gaze. In terms of interaction patterns in active HRI, the perceptions of affective human behavior in HRI mainly includes speech recognition, facial expression recognition, physiological signal perception, gesture recognition. The research group had carried out a serious work on the borrowed technologies. The facial expression is a critical component in successful human social interaction, and also important in the development of affective robots in particular. It provides a possible way to explore emotion cognition system of human, and is related to the perceived quality of human-computer interaction in rehabilitation systems. FER aims to predict disparate facial expression of human beings from their facial images. Then it could infer human emotions from their facial expressions and then assist the computer in making appropriate response. Here is some challenges. The facial expression is generally recognized based on handcrafted and deep learning-based feature extracted from RGB facial images. However, such recognition method suffers from illumination or pose variations. In particular, they fail to recognize these expressions with weak emotion intensities. Different people show different facial expression of the same emotion. Different people may perceive different emotion from the same facial expression. To address the above issues, we propose a coarse modality attention-based convolutional neural network for facial expression recognition. We extract expression-related feature from complementary facial image to tax the illumination of pose variations and to capture the appearance details that describe expressions with weak emotion intensity. Here is a framework. This figure shows the visualization of attention map generated on samples from two datasets. Expression from left to right are angry, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, and surprise. While facial expression providing reliable non-verbal clues for emotion perception, a frequently occurred issue is that in real-world applications, some people may present fake facial expressions to conceal their true feelings, leading to the recognition to make incorrect answer. In contrast, there exists some certain low intensity facial expressions expressed unconsciously when people present fake expression, which has been defined as facial micro expression that unintentionally leak people's true feeling. The aforementioned facial micro expressions are involuntary facial expression generated by uncontrolled facial muscles movements, where each of them is always occurred in the local facial region and only lasts for a short duration, usually less than 500 milliseconds. For example, the occurrence of micro expression is subtle. The duration of micro expression is very short. In particular, the facial micro expression is low intensity muscle movements that appears in small, local, but diverse facial regions. It is difficult to obtain sufficient information and extract features. The number of samples in existing datasets is small, and the distribution among classes is unbalanced. To tackle these issues mentioned above, we employ facial UVS images to explore low intensity muscle movement for short duration, which can be extracted from expression flow. Superficially, we first propose a motion detail enhancement method to disentangle micro expression irrelevant motion from the expression flow, and then a novel data augmentation strategy based on different UV weights is introduced to generate diverse components, hence to resolve the limited scale issue. Afterward, the enhanced facial UVS images are fed to a novel local diverse facial micro-expression recognition network for micro-expression related feature extraction, where spatial channel modulation is used to refine the extracted feature. The refined feature is further enhanced by a local diverse feature mining strategy, which enforces the network focusing on small and diverse feature region. We propose a adaptive loss function, which comprises supervised cross entropy loss and a self-supervised local diverse loss in order to optimize the network. This slide shows the activity region generated by Grand CAM on several datasets. When people's emotion changes, it will cause changes in many physiological signals such as ECG, EEG, EOG, or EDA, or EMG, blood volume pressure, head blood volume pulse, respiration, and so on. So these signals reflect the true effect. We propose the combination of EEG signals and EOG signals for emotion recognition task. The block diagram of the proposed algorithm is illustrated in Figure 1. We first propose the sampled EEG signal as well as the EOG signal in order to obtain enhanced stimulation signals with less noise. We first show the influence of the pre-processing step, such as subtracting the baseline from EEG signals in Figure 3 and Figure 4. We use 3 index, mean variance, standard deviation, and IE, and as the representation for each channel of each EEG signal. Emotion recognition accuracy is calculated using 12 different window sizes. In the experiments, we perform emotion recognition on 12 window sizes of EEG signal. It demonstrates that certain EEG channels are adequate for analyzing the subject's emotion state. For detail, please see this paper. As shown in this figure, the accuracy of EOG signal increased first, then decline as the time window size grows. Similarly, as the time window size increase, the accuracy of EEG signal increase first and then decrease. So we have to set or choose the appropriate window size to combine EOG and EEG signal. As a consequence, when performing the fusion the EEG and EOG signals, we select the intersection of time window and several adjacent time windows, which is 4, 5, 6, 10. We also propose a semi-supervised emotion classification model based on training EEG signal and video-based facial expression. To the best of our knowledge, this could be the first work. The motivation is to reduce the dependence of labeled examples. The objective of EEG-based emotion recognition model is to extract emotion feature in EEG signal, which is used to construct the first view of the contraining. The process of emotion recognition uses the recorded EEG signal is shown in Figure 2. The purpose of facial expression-based emotion recognition module is to extract the emotion feature in facial expressions, which is used to construct the second view of the contraining. This process is shown in Figure 3. The accuracy of the overall dimension for each subject in two datasets and different percentage of initial labeled examples are shown in Figure 4 and Figure 5. The x-axis is the number of subjects, and the y-axis is the number of the original labeled example with different proportion, and the z-axis is the emotion recognition accuracy. Okay. It can say that the accuracy of contraining is higher than that of single-source EEG signal as well as single-source facial expression. Moreover, the coordinate of different x corresponding to large ups and downs of the z-axis accuracy, indicating some anisotropy among subjects. The accuracy of error dimension for each subject in two datasets and different percentage of initial labeled examples are shown. The body gesture. The body gesture, including movement of head and other part of the body, also reflect people's emotion. For example, if we only observe the facial expression, it's easy to make us feel that these three people are sad. In fact, they are celebrating the victory of the competition and winning awards. At that time, their emotion was happy. This is our hand gesture capture system designed for virtual interaction. In our method, the initial sensors are embedded in the interplayer of the glues. All sensors connect to the lower power processors. And the hand emotion can be captured by kinematic modeling. It's a performance of real-time 3D gesture tracking. It can be said that the data glue we designed can accurately capture the spatial posture of finger. This research is published in IEEE Sensors Journal. We'll introduce the affecting HI. After the robot understands the emotion, it must be able to express the corresponding emotion. In part 3, we will give a brief introduction for generation of affecting HI. The robot's affective expression pattern is based on the elimination of humans' affective expression pattern, such as speech affective response, facial expression response, body movement, and gaze, and so on. With the emotion robots that have been developed in our lab, we designed a lightweight network to extract the landmarks of different subjects by establishing the real-time mapping between the landmarks and the humanoid robot. The humanoid robot can track the real facial expression in real time. Here is a video demonstration of our work. Now we briefly review some application of affective HI. Affective HI has applications in many fields such as aging in place, companionship, education, and so on. Aging society is expected to see two trends in the near future: an increase in demand to care for our elderly adults, and a decrease in the number of caregivers. Moreover, the many old adults prefer to age in place, that is, to age in their own home setting. As the nature progression of research on assisting and interactive robot over the years. The social assistive robot had emerged as a potential tech-based on solution to serve elderly adults and help meeting their independence. As a result, the data privacy is concerned. Here, we propose the federated learning for facial expression recognition. Federated learning is a decentralized, distributed deep learning training framework. It can effectively improve the computational efficiency of the model and make rational use of data and resources. Here is the federated learning network architecture for a robot. This diagram shows the system training process, the robot local update, at the servers, the central servers. The facial expression recognition is an essential and important function in affective HI. It is generally not allowed to share users' private facial expression data captured by each family care robot. However, the current facial expression recognition models in general don't consider the data privacy and security. And moreover, they only perform well under the independent and identical distribution of data. Unfortunately, this isolated dataset distributed across the robot are usually not IID, which makes the existing method only of limited utility. To address this problem, we propose the facial expression recognition mode and the federated learning framework in non-IID data setting. This diagram shows our framework. This shows the results. This shows the experiments conducted in no robots. We deploy our federated facial expression recognition model on 2 no robots. We design a home interaction framework, which is shown in the left panel. We conduct several experiments on real no robot. The right panel shows the results. The federated learning has better performance. The persons restricted in the movement of all the adults who live alone tend to have a negative emotion in their daily life easy. So emotion interaction with the intelligent companion robot can effectively relieve their negative emotion. We develop a system to respond appropriately to the other people's negative emotion. Our human-like robot is shown in the middle. We provide some practical case of our robot response to different facial expression. In this design, the robot will try to make a smile or other positive expression to conciliate user. When it detects the negative facial expression, the anger, happiness, disgust, happiness, fear, happiness, sadness, happiness. How to generate appropriate affective behavior to specific senses? It is an important issue. Scenery is a multidimensional space formed by a social system, customs, actions, and psychology and other factors acting on the place. The same behavior may lead to different results in different scenarios. How to generate appropriate affective behavior based on sense still needs further exploration. And last, we conclude my talk. First, the current research has completed the whole process from perception of affective human behavior in HI to generation of affective robot behavior. We also extend affective HI to the field of aging people and companionship. Second, a series of affective robot prototype has been developed in my lab. The further work involves exploring the generating mechanism of affective robot behavior in HI to generate more natural affective feedback and expression of application field. So, thanks, my collaborators. We have to thank the fundings. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Right. Thanks, Professor Liu, for joining us. Are there any questions in the audience? Yes, while people are thinking, maybe I can start with a question. Professor Liu, I like the, it's quite nice that your Android is able to synthesize like very animated facial expression. So I have a question related to, have you considered, I guess, adding like hand gestures to the emotional behaviors that your Android is exhibiting? Oh, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so related to the Android that you showed in your presentation, can you please elaborate a bit more on the emotional behaviors that that Android is exhibiting, like other than the facial expressions? Have you conducted any work or have plans of adding kind of body gestures and hand gestures to the Android's behavior?
So I think the capture is consistent with the human behavior in general. So I think the capture offers complementary things for extract accurately the true feeling.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And then also you mentioned a bit at the end of the talk where, you develop the federated learning so that you can do the, I guess, the emotion recognition and in general, the social robot to be more privacy preserving, which I think is very important, especially considering we're deploying robots in very sensitive conditions, like inside someone's home or like for healthcare or aging type of applications, where it's important to protect the user's privacy. I guess related to this, in your talk, you have briefly mentioned some work related to recognition of someone's micro expression, and I guess in some cases, someone might not be willing to I guess, reveal having their emotional, like true emotional feeling being revealed, which can be picked up from the micro expression, but maybe someone put up a smile because they don't want to be recognized as being like angry or sad. So in this kind of situations, I guess, would your model, I guess, how would your model be adapted so that it would address the user's needs or like this kind of ethical considerations related to emotion recognition, which I guess is a sort of a controversial or important topic in our field, with a lot of discussion around how emotion recognition could be applied in an unethical manner. So do you have any, I guess, comments related to that?
Thank you. I hope you collaborate with you on this topic. The federated learning is an effective approach to protect the data, in particular, the data privacy protection. It encourages the people to share the data, to resolve the data island.
Yeah, so it's like a security protection that, some third party cannot access like the raw data. They cannot associate the data with someone's ID. Right. Yeah. Okay, are there any questions in the audience? I think we have a question in the chat. I'll just read it. So Victor asked, emotion, expression, and gestures may be different depending on the country. It would be interesting to exist a database for those differences, so the generated expression can be as adequate as possible. Also, this kind of study could be interestingly applied to automated agents that could communicate with speech disability.
Yeah.
So it's kind of related,
so.
I guess, to the cultural context. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess related to that, the Android, would expect to people from different cultural background or different exposure to the robot. It could fall into the uncanny valley for like some people, for the Android, when it's exhibiting very lifelike facial expressions. So I guess, it would depend on, I suppose, the application scenario, what's the context of the interaction, that then it would lead to different perceptions or expectations to the robot. Okay, any other questions? Okay. If not, then let's thank Professor Liu again. Thank you for joining our workshop today and for the very interesting presentation. There are certainly a wide range of work that's conducted at your lab. And we look forward to, I guess, new works that's coming out.